Everybody loves campfires and everybody loves tents, so why don't we stick the fire in the tent? This is the Palmolive Oroquin Mini 3 wood stove. We're gonna give a shot at hot tenting this winter, and our first item is the stove. We'll go over all the features and everything that came with the stove and then put it through its first burn. First of all, they packed it extremely well. This thing was double boxed and it has nice big padding. And why is that important is this thing has 3 glass windows, as you can see, and they all survive transit. In the packaging, you get this, which is a kind of a carrying case. It's not necessarily a bag, but it's just kind of a wrap that goes around the outside. You also get these 2 little side extensions, almost like little end tables that pop out, and they attach to the edge and they fold down, and they're pretty simple to put up. You fold them up, slide them in, and it gives you a nice big playing field. Before we take everything out, let me show you how it packs in here. We'll fold these back down. As you can see, they fold and unfold super easy. That's actually really nice. So just to note, this thing has a lot of heft to it. It's not a super lightweight stove. This is as small as this thing's gonna get. They do make some stoves that fold down completely flat for backpacking. Not this one. This is not it. We'll strap up. And they did do a good job with the materials on this. It does feel like it's actually gonna protect the stove, and not only protect the stove, but protect your vehicle. And then you got carrying handles on the side. One thing would be cool if they added, since this thing is such a kind of a little tank, is a shoulder strap, which you probably could add one if you really wanted to. It's actually one nice thing is everything is all packed away inside the stove, so you don't have to worry about losing parts. And we'll take these off just so we can show you the bottom. If we flip it up on end here, you can see it's got 4 little legs, and these legs just simply swing out. One thing to note is these legs are not adjustable. So these are what you get. Your little door that opens here, and all of your stove chimney pipe are nested inside here. And we did take these out once, and putting them back in was a little bit of a chore, so keep that in mind. I mean, it's tight fit, but everything does fit. You can see here it comes with 6 chimney pipes. 2 of them are unique. This one has a spark arrestor at the top. Hot embers coming up your stove. They're gonna be hopefully stopped by the spark arrestor here. And if you look at the top here, it's all closed off, so in theory it will stop a lot of the rain coming down from the top. The other unique one is this one, and this is the one that has the built-in damper in it. You can see there. And these just slide into fit. There's one rolled edge on the outside here, and then one smooth edge. Another unique thing about this stove is it does have a false floor in it, or a false bottom on it. And so that also means that there is an included bottom ashtray. And actually in the ashtray, there's this and some extra screws. This actually will go to guy out your chimney so the wind doesn't blow this thing around, because this potentially could be pretty high up in the air. Slides over the top and rests on that first section that hits. It's got a nice big ashtray. And on the front here, you can see that their vents are open, and it's actually controlled by just moving the handle back and forth. What I have seen some other people do is they'll actually crack out. They'll just pull the tray out a little bit and let more air in that way. There's one other feature that it has, and there's these little holes along the top of these windows. If you slide this little guy here, you can see those holes open up or close. And basically what that is that will pull air in. They say that it'll pull it in and it runs across that glass and keeps that glass nice and clear. You want to have it closed during start, and after about 15 minutes of burn, you can open up those channels. Another reason I like this stove is it doesn't have any bolts or anything sticking up. So with your cooking on here, you can put your pots, your pans, anything up there. You don't have to worry about anything sticking up and them kind of wobbling around. And also, if you needed to get them off the heat but still keep them warm, you can kind of put it off to the side and you have a nice little warming area over there. This is a small stove, and it only comes with about 5 feet of chimney. So with the height of the actual stove and the pipes, you're looking at a peak of 6 feet, which may not be long enough. So we picked up these. These are just a 4-pack of extension pipes. The nice thing is they're completely compatible with the existing Palmolive pipes. They were about $10 cheaper, which is very nice. There are two differences with these extension pipes that you should be aware of. It might make a difference to you. They're slightly heavier. I think it's just a thicker material. Not a huge deal, as you like, this stove is not a backpacking stove. It's going to be in the car anyways. Really, weight's not a problem. The other main difference is if you look at the end, it has no rolled edge, and so the Palmolive pipes have a rolled edge. It's not sharp, it's not going to cut you. So I don't think it's a big deal. What they say is you're going to want to be 2 feet above the top of your roof, and why you would like to be that high is if you have sparks coming out of here, it gives the sparks a little bit of chance to cool down before they rest and burn a hole in your tent. There's one really important thing that I discovered about this little tiny stove is this is a standard piece of wood that we picked up from one of our last camping trips. Let me show you something. If we open the door and slide this piece of wood in there, there's one thing you'll notice right away is it doesn't fit. So if you're gonna be burning wood from like you're gonna pick up at a campground, just know that you're gonna have to chop that down somehow. These side extensions on the stove, not only do they have a good platform for you, but if you swing them all the way up, you could use them as a little handle. So like if maybe you were moving this around inside of camp, you could just use that. You're not gonna wanna transport it like that long distances, but if you're just going a little ways, I think that's actually pretty cool. Let's pack this up, head outside, and see how this thing does on its first burn. These pieces on the sides, on the bottom. He's light really fast. Look up here. Already got smoke. Let's make sure our vents on the side are closed. 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 The stove is burning now. It's just burning the kindling that we put in there. So I think we're going to open up these little side vents that it's actually burning pretty good now. If you look at the top up there, it's actually really clean smoke. It's not a lot of white. So I can't actually open this one. These vents over here got a little bit too tight. So I think with that tool, we'll have to loosen those just a little bit later on when we get done. Surprisingly, these stay cool enough to touch, but this is definitely super hot. All that heat is like right there. You can see here that these vents are open. It's pulling in as much air as it's going to get when it's closed, but watch this, the fire kick up when we pull it out just a little bit. We might as well do a boil test while we're out here. And to test, we have the Stanley cup. And these things are definitely a heavier cup, so they take a little bit longer to heat up. And then we have a standard titanium. Let's see which one this is. This is the Lixada titanium pot, the 650. You can see there's a lot of room on here. Back here where I started the fire is definitely a little bit hotter. We'll put it back here. You can hear it sizzling. These guys in there. This burned down nice and quick. I'm gonna stick one of these in there too. Ooh, look at that. Got a nice boil going. So far, we're really impressed with this little stove. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it's just not long enough for a standard sized piece of wood. You can see our little pot is boiling like crazy over here. Our hot tent will be showing up next. If you have any ideas or guesses on what we chose, put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Go check out this video next. You can find us at exploretrekadventure.com, and we'll see you next time.